All right, it's here for Yamamunyina Kwaba once again about Pinaxtv. So, for the past few days, I think since yesterday, past 24, 48 hours, you say Ghana and Togo. Both of these countries are trending on the international stage. Inti Ghana Nina Wamanonia. You realize that this news may have popped up in your feed, and I said on your network, your local network. I'm talking about either CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, or what so have you. Now, Nina is because of a current legal battle Ghana as a whole we are having with Togo. Before you even get further though, since Mahama came to power, I've been saying this, Ghana, we need to beef up our security because the country as around us, and the country we border with them, they don't see us as partners, they don't see us as friends, they don't see us as allies, they see us as adversaries. Ghana has to beef up itself in terms of security and Nyema because these people one day pounce on us. That is why all the countries around us, there's an incessant coup d'etat, and now we see people. Okay, Burkina Faso for terrorist attack now Ghana and Omukunku and just as the problem we are having with Burkina Faso at the north, Ghana is now having an issue again at our eastern border. At our eastern border with Togo. Now, it's here for breaking it down, and this is the time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he needs to activate any military. In fact, Ghana, the whole Ghana with a population of 35 million, a military 18,000 citizens. Now, some kwasi same way said you yatna why and shehansa and no enama and ne Togo. If say they can do what they want and they can take whatever they want from Ghana. So this whole issue, it stems from a year. Ghana's battle with Togo on the Gulf of Guinea. On the Gulf of Guinea, Ghana, Gulf of Guinea, white say we border no issue ni nyina efi ho. Na tiefo me no before meba hase ababe kan sem na say minim de me ye de me ba be kan. Na tiefo ye de ade we two screens no so a e be breaking no bit by bit. But for those of you who know what the fight is against, Ghana's president Togo's president on the far right of the screens and Ghana's president. These two presidents are now facing off. I'm in Tokana Sebio dia court ye wini no sisi ani anhwe ya ebeda popo. Now the whole issue is stemming from see the screen. See the two screens, so two share screens no so. This is baby Ghana ye Togo we a pono so adanya. There are particular places pono so as pono Ghana say there Togo for say omo there and akwa danin tokwan na oil in semen na Ghana nya keep 3 point Togo for say baby e 2 oil na omo there inte ya kasa bebre ni ema ni ko pie court ama Ghana ye wini case no ye wini case na ye say my ntua any compensation ema Togo no Togo again is now interfering with us, threatening us with their navy, and almost soldiers somewhere so. Now, let us break this down. Let's put this particular thing on the screens. This particular graph I create here was screens where Ghana-Togo maritime dispute, as you see, acquired the International Tribunal for Law of the Sea. You see, mind you, Togo and Ghana. Court. Now Togo does not want to actually accept the outcome of case Ghana. So now Ghana has to take this to the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea. ITLOS. Now therefore, this particular graph can see exactly what is really going on now. Screens no you see two countries here, okay? You see Ghana and then you see Togo, okay? But then down our border now, our southern border now, okay? Utimus a line be check. Your friend is saying, the line be at ho. I just say, baby a line at no, sa particular line no, baby a Ghana, from the far left, and now as a baby as a Yacho Jubilee 10, and no baby a Ghana for you claim say a maritime boundary. Okay, that is it. I wanna Ghana claim say a maritime boundary. Remember, so all of these things, Bibi air contesting now, all of them is on the Gulf of Guinea. No problem. Now, Usha a year, baby, a year Togo force air contest here. Shadieni yo, she baby a Ghana, your map no, okay? Neshe baby a Togo force, so I think so we need to make this a bit smaller. Now, move a teal for bit me a year, baby a year can't the whole thing accept. So, Usha, baby a say a year contested maritime area no, no. And I say yeah no into show and I say green and a bit of red no into whole no Togo say omudie and a Ghana force in semi year can say sa particular stretch is just beneath us into a year dear into baby I red now I wish there was arrow but then ocean screen so I say contested maritime area into baby I say red no I friend equidistant line no a ho and a Ghana you need Togo yeah kun ewo party so check graph now everything clearly shows in here now yeah the graph no about the other side so we say Ghana-Togo now check Gulf of Guinea now baby you need a Togo for yeah kun no and no and I say red that you did the whole thing as circle. Let's make this a bit bigger for you to see exactly what we are talking about and I'll explain it in detail but I want us to see a graph near what is really going on. Baby I say yeah, box B as a dot box B and as a dash box a ho and a Ghana you need to go yeah because Togo for say a yomo dear add na Ghana yes you oil na you tunya de aden a yomo share so and a Ghana for so yes share so what must say intensisiano akwa kopi the International Tribunal for Law of the Sea ITLOS. Now what is this whole case about? Case we no what is it about? Me who man first started commenting on our live. He said that is our maritime. It's true. Sabi bia Togo forecast a yomo dia. Sisi ano yahwe ni yebetima danen tokwa both military and both navies of both countries meeting the sea no. Ghana there. So what is the whole issue about? The whole issue actually stems from when Ghana you discover oil first. Okay, Obeka I say keep 3 points and other pointer. I think some few years ago, somewhere in I think it's 2008 or so, Ghana discover oil no. A ho and a Togo for a car say baby, sa oil na Ghana you see a discover no. That particular place no, ayomodie. Remember I said all of these places no, offshore, which means any Ghana SAS so direct, but in na a try winshia no. Yes, so yes and a Togo force so mushie. Baby omo contest Jubilee and 10. That is Trinebua and Yira in Tome. I a friend 10. Any Jubilee gold Jubilee offshore and a gold fields oil fields ye two oil near the adewo. Now Togo omo argument no so simple. Omo party say Ghana baby ani ye two oil no. Baby ani ye drill no. Sa area no Togo for there. 2. Togo for Emma Ghana warning said we should stop drilling or doing any oil activities in that particular area because as baby yeah no in as much as they've claimed say your mudi sema Ghana yes you will see be no and both countries will have to go and sit down and hash it out because as at that time not Togo for say or more evidence. Again, Togo even went on further to say Ghana should pay them compensation, okay, for drilling oil. Inti sa bibia na ye tu oil ni ade na Togo for air parties eyomo de and I say Ghana ye claim say eyomo de sa Jubilee 10 ho no eyomo de and I say Ghana ye claim say ye de ye tu oil inti ye tu oil no na asem na akwa kopie kwade nya kan wie ya oil na ye tu no any sika ye nya ni nyina e wo se e ma Togo for compensation na ye san so returning the shore back to Togo na eno na Ghana for argue say sa maritime boundary na Togo forecast sa baby a Togo forecast yomude and yomude because Ghana we are bound by the maritime boundary which for almost 100 years we've accepted. You draw a map no between Ghana and Togo no ya tia say Togo yes ye Ghana so musie. So at the end of the day, no, we don't understand why you oil. Yes, all of a sudden Togo forces say, so Ghana should stop drilling oil at these locations. Again, Ghana so eka say, baby yes oil operations no, what they term as their rightful territory. And no in some ekopie courts. Emma Ekopie Court on the International Tribunal for Law of the Sea in 2017. No, Omu release the maritime boundary. Bruni Beka said the equidistance line. That's the equidistance line. Or someone where geography people say it's a middle line between both coasts. Okay, in Ghana, you have a boundary by land and you have a boundary by sea and equidistance. And a court on Edibe to just say, baby, a Ghana for your drilling a young Kasaya, which me say, we are following the right rules. Boundary now, and I said maritime borders, and as that particular waters, a Ghana for your dear. Again, most of the disputed oil fields, no. Togo for a castle your modia, no. Almost 90% of them, no, a Ghana for dear. So you should retain it. And in kitting be a ruling kitting be a could do Togo for her. So Ghana won the case. Okay. Now, if Ghana had lost that case in 2017, what it would have meant was that we will have to have paid Togo almost $30 billion or $10 billion, which is even 50% of the entire GDP of Ghana. Again, also no Ghana your oil ne niema ye tuno, which means a bit easy. Okay, but your core you win is our case strengthen Ghana's legal position in the international maritime law, and I also a set example because beginning some no question no if you can't sit down and hash these things out between Ghana and Togo, said you a military and a navy no or meet me this year, nice a Ghana and Togo no you're war with that, and there's no way Togo can defeat Ghana in war. We are better than them in everything. Listen and listen well. We are better than Togo in everything. You better also. Now, Togo again has gone back and saying, oh, 2017 ruling by the International Tribunal for Law of the Sea, settled the maritime dispute between Ghana and Togo, and also Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. No, sa case nankasa no sebio technically no omodwenwa omontiase. And moreover, to a back now, mo try some back and some bilaterally, the kasa both ends, not just at the end of the day, no, yakas okay, ya kokoti, wini, and as neighbors near sorting out the issue, no, ya buy and talk spilled. And no, and I mean, kasi kasan a escalate, I mean, kasi siano, asanso, escalate, magana air party, siano, Togo for air party, be a Ghana for air drilling, and still a yomode, they want to take it by force. So Ghana is taking the first steps to go back to the court to strengthen its decision. And I say, the court's ruling, if that one fails, then I think the Ghana Army and the Navy, Ghana Maritime, we have to teach Togo a lesson. We have to teach Togo a lesson if this time around it fails. Now, let us put this particular thing here on the screens for you to know exactly what we are talking about. So, this is exactly where one a video of the offshore baby I say isi aye kwa Togo force a yomodie ene adeade. But then aye fellows of Osukwache, okay, or the Simbi ebetuja or no any case isi Ghana ye call back to a court. Ye call back to a court again. Tusha has say press statement, and this is coming from a fellows of Osukwache or not in the same way ebetuja. Also, the government of Ghana has served the government of Togo with notice of its decision that the maritime boundary between Ghana and Togo be determined by recourse to international arbitration under the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea. This follows attempts at negotiating boundaries which have gone on for the past 8 years but have not resulted in an agreed outcome. Ghana has taken steps in order to avoid escalation of incidents that have created tensions between some of our institutions and to promote an amicable resolution, thereby contributing to the continued good relations between the two countries. And this was signed by Felix Osukwache, Ono and the President Communications. Sisiano, in some medical PMO, International Tribunal of the Law of the Sea, no. The rule for Ghana no Sisiano Togo for some months ase. Emma Sisiano we are learning say case no call back to a year baby a friend a year the international arbitration under the United Nations Conventions of Law, UNCLOS. That is the whole issue. And to see the big question among for ABC say, why the hell is Togo doing this? At the end of the whole issue is that when you say Ghana, you discover oil, no, you're going to many agreements. Ebi say, ye be loni sa particular offshore fields ama for they bring their machines, they do all the manufacturing, and after some years, I think 10 years or so, no, about be dig Ghana for, I think 10 or 20 years about be dig Ghana for. Then now you starting to produce your own oil, will be exporting it, and at the end of the day, no, will be getting money from it. Sana Dubai for Saudi Arabia, at the end of the day, says Kano Benyano, or Modi Build or Mukrono. That is exactly what Ghana is aiming. Into the amount for now, or my machines, any other database see or more year. Into after some time, no, or two or more oil, no, more fast so we are, on Bejama and Ghana will take over because to build that thing on the sea, no, so Unima. It costs around almost, the last time I'm checking here, now almost $900 billion. Honestly, Ghana, your GDP, our entire gross domestic product is somewhere around $80 billion. So calculate, I was here spending almost $900 billion on the sea. It needs a scan. You turn your crown, you hurry your crown, it's the same back crown, and so. So, the amount of form, yes, at the end of the day, no, Yankasa or Mutu, your mate me to na ababe di Ghana for. Yatia, but Togo, who said no, side you win a good opportunity because almost yes, no, they have not discovered oil. Baby, a Ghana ya discover oil, no, all of a sudden Togo for so your modie. Intino, sa titi Lord na neye yusua. Obiati SSM, Miss Sunye, no Togo for say it doesn't apply today and in this particular generation because our colonial masters also and no draw sa line no be en pepe be a Ghana ye to oil no e Togo for there it for in semni nyina enye ama sisia no utie sama fellows of Osukwache odi tudwa no patch say akosoa ama sisia no there's tensions between the institutions I can't want some navy okay navy no and you know omo nsuo so maritime omo nsuo so ntia kamia kwa say the two military of both countries omo nsuo so no around they meet, you know, they clash but as a yente ntia hwe ni ya a bit my escalate because still Togo air pass be a Ghana for you to sa oil no ayomo die inti dia court ama ye wini but still na Togo for say omonti ase inti etefo that is the whole issue now menu ka say akwara ko pie court menu ka say foreign yasingbe ono ene the Togo president we dia sa I think say on the fourth term fourth term he's 58 years old okay say foreign yasingbe na papa a president prime minister or so and waba be dia menu ka say no or say on ase. But my personal take on this, something I may read these certain comments and say Ghana is playing the softball. Oko Middle East now, you Israel, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, almost countries be Middle East but Israel, Iran, even though Iran has a landmass 10 times bigger than Israel to me Bombay Iran. Bibi Koswa Israel to me Bombay the ISIS for the Houthis and the Obombi. That is because Israel who say people don't like to talk. People don't like to hash out this issue. People like action. So if Ghana they be we a peaceful nation and a democratic nation to me personally my view on this is that you better not say one day a small country like Togo can think so bending the rules to their favor. And they'll start fooling and teaching Ghana a lesson. That is why currently Ghana, there's issue at the top of our border. That's why currently Ghana, we are now facing issues at the sea level, our southern border with Togo. Can you imagine? Togo, way. Massa. So, I don't know, issues in the ABB, but then it's high time Ghana, we beef up our military because these francophone nations, they have been hostile to us. And I think that sometimes you need to show a bit of mighty force. Beef up the military. Into military Ghana, when you say 18,000, let's up it to somewhere 80,000. Yankwaji the F-35s US for the bombing Iran. A bit more Toby. Yantobe Bray. You try and equip your soldiers near military. At the end of the day, all the countries around us will know say Ghana the endure mwagro. Because some funye course you Ghana for tomato solace and can see na Ghana sending F-35. They are called Bombesa extremists or more Ghana border. Obeyete ho and ukutu tabla kwa akwa ochicha pictures. Ane Ochucha picture. So that is the issue. Now, I mean, taking some few comments. So, Crystal says, stop telling lies. Always loyal, say Lane. And Jude Maduka said, Ghana's boundary. And always royal said, the maritime boundary is under our map, which is true. And always loyal said, we won the case in court. So Togo, why come to demand our maritime boundary? Again, now the same always royal say, we will not release our maritime boundary to Togo. And again, Jude Maduka said, Ghana won the case in the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea. Yes, we won the case, but Togo forced someone to here. So now the case is going back to what? Court again. This time around, I think under UN section or Moshe Epo, they resolve issues of the sea. Issues the air core. It is so sad. So issue are air no. Personally, I would like to get your opinion. What do you think about this? Do you think Ghana for yin jemu? Because Togo to me, Togo believes they can intimidate us on hey. Because Ghana they say a cool country. Ghana they impede the impentokra into hey sana unsa Takashi francophone for Takashi no. Na Ghana ye jemu amoy. It's be bia ye mining oil near the Togo because Togo for no many swears. It will not happen in this particular country. And that is why, to me, enough of going to court. We need to beef up our security because a small country like Togo, on population ain't 5 million or 10 million, their military can be rubbing shoulders with us on Ghana's navy. Claiming say be a Ghana for drilling oil well, I'm not the president of this country, but then I think some action needs to really go on. So that is the issue. It's here for me no cases here air course. Now, brand updates be some few days ago. Say the Chief Justice for Bonnie or the Nsembi Ababe to just a petition will receive here to take these two people off. I'm talking about to sack and a petition to remove the EC boss Jen Mensah and also petition to remove OSP Kisie Jabeno. Petition for Mama, Mahama, Enima Mahama, for the man on making a decision. Now, the head and tail of all of this was that Chief Justice of Shemono, OSP Kisie Jabi, onye bibi a chesi yino. O Shemono, meno kase EC boss Jemensa, onye bibi a wasi yino. And ultimately yomo. Now, meno kase we've intercepted a letter we are learning say leaked. This letter leaked. And this letter is a letter if we are learning say it was directed to office of the presidency. As our office of the presidency, the reason why Chief Justice refused to honor the sacking of OSP Kisie Jabin and also EC boss Jen Mensah. Let's put this on the screens. It will show the whole screen. So I'll say petition removal of the chairperson and deputy commissioner of the Electoral Commission. Into here, they are giving us an update as to why this happened. Or say, I have the instructions of His Excellency the President, to convey to you actions taken on your petition dated the 22nd of April 2025 on the above matter. Into one moment the petition, and this letter, I come on any leak here. You read it. 2. In accordance with Article 146 Clause 3 of the 1992 Constitution, His Excellency of the President duly referred the petition to the Lordship Justice for Bonnie, the Chief Justice of Ghana. That is on the 25th of November 2025 to determine whether the petition discloses a prima facie. So prima facie here part say in sema na part say ye jina so na dia sake OSP ene EC boss because o made the boni purportedly no aboni beka say the omo ye na say engineer so ho e say o made the boni bit masake o mba say no omo hwemu no omo enye engineer so bia ye nto aso ha or say 3 or say by the letter dated 26th January 2026 the Chief Justice informed His Excellency the President that no prima facie case had been established by the petition to warrant any further investigation. The Chief Justice letter states as follows. Now they are telling us say based on investigation, Chief Justice His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say boni bi ni wa OSP Kisie Jabin any only EC boss Jen Mensah or my letter we not talk about president. I say while the allegations raise serious constitutional and administrative questions, they do not on their face meet the threshold required for a prima facie determination of stated misbehavior or incompetence warranting that a committee be set to inquire into the petition. The petition largely rests on conclusions of unlawfulness and bad faith without establishing a preliminary level clear facts demonstrating international wrongdoings or manifest inability to perform the constitutional functions, even if the commission's actions or inactions are assumed to be erroneous, controversial, or suboptimal. Such shortcomings do not automatically translate into stated misbehavior or incompetence within the constitutional sense. Your part say, even though some of the questions are yanum for erasing, so EC boss, send or ABC no anye ye, send OSP boss, kisiye jabe, send or ABC no anye ye, or musubaini nkrophobia or employment as they are using the office to enrich themselves. Part say, when dia obeti maka say misbehavior, I say obi ewa abemwa sebiu on man hoso and I say oye bibia. I say the behavior it doesn't suit a public official in the eyes of Ghanaians and in the eyes of Obia Osheno. But then that doesn't mean say ejuma no mo ye no bumbra. So based on this, constitution be by the law, they don't deserve to be sacked. Which means say omunye boni bia per the constitution bit me your mefi. So in some way, a Chief Justice or the Command Excellency John Dramani Mahama ultimately one more the petition the choir the way echo more. Into share the was say I'll share the was yes. In conclusion, the allegations disclose disputes over constitutional interpretation, administrative judgment, and institutional response to complex transitional agreements rather than conduct so grave, personal, and culpable as to justify a prima facie determination of their removal proceedings. So under Article 146 Clause 3, therefore, there is no basis to activate a constitutional machinery for a full inquiry and petition fail at the prima facie stage. Accordingly, I find no prima facie case has been established against the chairperson and deputy chairperson of the Electoral Commission by the petitioner. So the head and tail of all of this issue is that chairperson, EC boss, or no nabeja for yeso mundi boni bia. Yoma yeno obi bekas akwese Mahama yesi Mahama wankase ye wo UN ana Mahama sino obu o man wanye ni ye and it will be say ye ne debi. That is the president's conduct. But constitutionally, you come by the books, president enye bibia wosi yinedi. And this is exactly what has come out. I mean, we can say obiti makasa a big blow to one more na omu push say by now anke was say che the people involved, sorry, I can say a sack, these people involved, talking about the EC boss Jen Mensah, and subsequently even sack a person like the OSP Kisi Jabi Aminuka say Ubia say Onkwana. So most people have petitions say Onko. So therefore, this is the issue so we will be very much happy to get your views on this particular issue. What do you think about it? Do you think say petition about and EC boss and Mensah only Kisi Jabi do you think say right thing? The good news though is that I think somewhere 2030 EC boss and Mensah will be fair deals because you see based on the constitutional review committee almost you'll be EC boss for life. So 10 years per also official. Moving retirement aging for EC boss, you're in 65 years. So she won't be there for long because of how the constitution have been amended. But then what do you think about all of these issues are air course? So we'll be very much happy to get your view based on all of these things are air course. In regards with the current petitioner, Sisiano, Supreme Court, and also the Chief Justice Omode Ababe Tuja. Actually, for Twaswa ne called the camp of Nana Bedia Kucheda. For those of you amunim na Nana Bedia Kucheda, and then that news about say the Forestry Commission omesu cheddar because of tigers and mbwa or the baby P.Krum has seen. Now him said Cheddar who stood for president just at the end, just ended 2024 elections under the own political party. Or Themen as the new force. Before that, Krana or Yubia or the exotic animals. Exotic animals are and bois said your mere wild or moon rim, and nona brunifen exotic tea or the lion aba or the tiger, but or the most of these exotic animals according to Cheddar, no, or Pesambuawi and Sambuawi, so it symbolizes strength and say Africa, yes, it will be. But then Minuka say no, the Forestry Commission or Monsieur Nana Bedi Ako Cheddar, a Kamia question now. Nana Bedi Ako Cheddar, or better sorry bia no ni soon. Remember, say now ni enya abrophobia eba krum ha omode no court say. Omone Cheddar business na Cheddar omone ni business no Cheddar I was so tuaske bia on tuae enu ti no ye de no ye de no court na me no ka sisi no sansem no de hange ho ama Cheddar ba be kan wansen that sorry ye no so no the Forestry Commission is suing Nana Bedi Ako Cheddar. Even Dia Rekra is sued Cheddar recently, and a businessman also sued Cheddar. The woes of Cheddar just keep getting worse. Now, yeah, the two screens. So I say, if you start FM, I say, Forestry Commission sues Cheddar over illegal imports of tigers, 6 reposition of them. So now the Forestry Commission, part say, Nana Bedi Ako Cheddar, see, they are suing him because tiger na or the back room has say no, illegal. Which means Nana Bedi Ako Cheddar only authority say or did these kind of animals are exotic species and I say animals or moon room no only who clients or the omuba and the Forestry Commission omo share mboa omo rights any idea no by say kwan papa e fa so dem boa eba Ghana in the first place no e boom bra so secondly no the tigers are not supposed to live in his house. They are supposed to be in the zoo. Not Nana Bedi Ako Cheddar ni fie. Inti ready the full thing na ewo ha say ya. I said the founder of the new force, Nana Kwame Bedi Ako, popularly known as Cheddar, has been dragged to the High Court by the Forestry Commission seeking to recover possession of 2 tigers he had illegally imported in the country. So now the Forestry Commission party said Cheddar did not have the rights, the permit to bring these tigers into the country in the first place. Yes. Inti based on that, so they are seeking says I tigers or the my bar. Send a video show who you know. The Forestry Commission now wants court to take the tigers from Cheddar, give it to them, not Forestry Commission. Also, the action filed on January 26, 2026 by the Ecotourism of the Wildlife Division of the Ghana Forestry Commission or the Ghana Commission is seeking an order of the High Court to forfeit the 2 tigers to the state. It's now the forestry the Ecotourism of the Wildlife Division of the Commission, the Forestry Commission, by a court and Cheddar says tigers no ontimi oni omu biom, which means was the state which is Ghana are buying. The commission said the manner in which the 2 tigers were imported into the country breached the export and import permission requirement rules and is in direct violation of the scientific authority advice or management authority approval as contained in Article 3 of the CIT of the CITES Convention. In some parties, I can't pay so any side tigers buy in the first place. No, a idea will breach a certain law. The applicant commission in its affidavit in support of the action, which is deposed by Christian Achufume Nassar, who happens to be the director of the Stakeholder and Ecotourism of the Wildlife Commission of the Forestry Commission, premised it to the Wildlife Resources Management Act 2023 at 11115. The effect is to seek the order to confiscate the 2 tigers illegally imported in the country. The affidavit is in support. The affidavit in support filed with consent of the Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission stated that in line with the Wildlife Division of the Forestry Commission's mandate of maintaining and conserving wildlife and managing wildlife protected areas, the applicant is a signatory to a number of international conventions and other treaties concerning wildlife, particularly endangered species. If you are saying your law, it bars people from keeping certain animals brony from endangered species because you see tigers and lions no doors on to set first because you approach you be brave. You see akano ye bomb ho ban nti obi a to bi no or real mo ewo krom ha na se bi enim de ode ya oni ho kwan because if you asin bra kra e ma ho kwan sa nti see the tigers in this question according to the commission they are saying say it should be handed back to the states and the Forestry Commission. Again, almost also cattle, almost also can letter no say The applicant said the international commitments have been fully duly incorporated into various domestic wildlife laws and other policies. So, by Ghana, no, we also use the forest wildlife rules and regulations and laws. So we practice them. It is said sometime in 2022, it came to the notice of the applicant that Nana Bedi Akocheda, also known as Freedom Jacob Caesar, had brought into the country 2 tigers and he was keeping them in his home, which was located in a residential area. It's far from that, one person said, baby Anna Cheddar, or keep this wildlife, no, not a residential area. Residential area, be uncomfortable. We are not supposed to keep wildlife there. We are not supposed to keep wildlife there. And you know, Omunya notice no, and say no. Based on all of this, no, they have to take action. It's action omu take it no, and omu drag ya omu say no. Based on all of this, no, omu den sem the air kokota. Minuka say no, yesu Nana Bedi Akocheda. Ama minuka say no, sisia no. Omu party say tigers no dia ba no. A crown of us the back country in the first place no. Enya the pa. And secondly, they are seeking the court to seize these tigers and Nana Bedi Akocheda or have and give it back to the state. In the states, at the end of the day, so I'm going to zoo, so I'm going to transport your man back to where they came from. We don't know. So that is the issue at air cost. And the fact that Cheddar keep these animals our residential area, and who knows, one day will beat me a conifie, not tigers see a pounce on them. Now I read in conform a conifie, and I say, bia. Cheddar Cross, tigers here he's not taking good care of them. And no, and I'll share on the screen, sir. A video I'll share Freedom Jacob Caesar, Cheddar, videos or post here in the social media about these tigers and who's at the point in time when we usually pictures with these particular tigers. So that is exactly what is really going on. Now, in other news, His Excellency John Dramani Mama Wababe Kasa about Muslim for on Ramadan or Masima or Mubabe or Mu Fastia Minuka saying if you are seeing now. Muslim, if you are seeing now Muslims, they are observing fasting. His Excellency John Dramani Mama Edin Simbi Ababe Tuja. Yenko Babaka. We have more updates and news coming your way.
Hello and assalamu alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. As we stand at the threshold of this blessed month of Ramadan, Lordina and I extend our warmest greetings to you and your families. Ramadan is truly a special time, a month of reflection, renewal, and coming together as one community. As you begin your fast, may your hearts be purified and your imani strengthened and accepted. May Allah the most merciful grant you good health and peace of mind and abundant mercies throughout these 30 days of fasting. May your prayers be answered, your good deeds be accepted, and may this Ramadan month bring you closer to our Creator and to one another. As you break your fast each evening with family and friends, remember that the true beauty of Ramadan lies not just in abstaining from food, but in the discipline, compassion, and generosity we show to all, especially to those who are less fortunate than us. Let's use this holy month to strengthen the bonds of unity, love, and peace in our communities and across our beloved nation, Ghana. From my family, we wish you a spiritually fulfilled and blessed Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak. May Allah accept your worship. I thank you.
Okay, so that was His Excellency John Dramani Mama in some of the betuja about our Muslim brothers. The month of Ramadan no muuma. He said all over the world no or more fasted. So that is a big one coming from the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now, it's for me no say no trust on in some so because definitely there are issues what's here can some right here on this particular platform. Now ye bushi ni efi Ghana let's say ye ni abruchimemu which is Canada. It's for Oko Canada sisia me no say there's a big issue. Women ya over screens no so share the top of the screens information about tuja air parties women kamya quest or bogana phobi apu omo Canada omo capital ba ko efe Toronto and one of city efe Toronto ye zoomini ye na wa woman on the screens woman no ye chirem ye se oyobi a obo Ghana forward in class okay ye nimsa brutre die ukọ at the point in time person unya hoto okruma you need in crata one of the ways obitimi nya in crata yes, say you naturalize and now say you become you take the natural path and now the process I'll be to sway in citizen. One other way so a very fast and reliable say or ye Canadian. Okay. Now wait mean a Canadian visa and a passport about a permanent resident. It's San in more butchery, both UK, US, and Canada, almost fast to the young crata. Now, woman, we know how much you say. I charge you be 30,000 Canadian dollars. So be in crata mano. We di can yen crata mobi. I'm in crata no ye mobi no. And then who same be and was answer quack jo be sikas or yen crata aman e Canada ho. Whilst all yes and crata na many pana wajini 30,000 Canadian dollars no. Was answer fechi. Aqua jo be full sika. Also or ye in crata ama say nipa no. Na emu ena nipa no kwaji ni sika the second person kwaji ni sika so ye in crata ama nipa no be yare ye kokko. Oye adwuma onya issue ena nipa no bubu ye sensem pi. Enti edum na achese se bi do be di kro onya no. Ena woman we ekọ nipa no was on sign crata. Bi no be say crata bi no so every person me bo aye no. Say na a eviction from the country. Say be abrofo be hu say okay nipa no person fi kro no self deport. Then say sika no twa no I ahye. Na ye deport nipa ne baga na ni woman yi afechi. Akoye den akwaje the benefits. Therefore in some ye bebre yenti in some woman yi a report issue some more.
For Madaroma. Ya mami oda suro ye ne wo krom ha sei. Mami we oye odi ni pipa jeji nkrofo sika so be ya aware amwo mo. Wadi kan ya aware bi enche. Na wasaje ye papa we one ne da ho sika 30,000 so be ya aware e de ama no. Woji sika no 2024 ya na papa yi wo ba kroma 6 years ni. Wadada papa ne sa so be ya aware nkrata na ma no wanye. Ono so waji ni sika. Na do mbe ya kwani se ombekwa ya aware no. A wo ya aware no so nkyere se wa ya aware de we no ma nkrata da bi. Enti eno no de akon papa no. Ama papa ya ne na musa me se mu papa no okwa adwuma kopra e ohun se mu papa ne nai pa abeje musem papa we yare da dem otimi ko hospital wonya hwe woni bibia no da ko hospital na ni nyina mami we age ne 30,000 papa ne yare da dem mami we amfa na ni sei ankohwe papa no sei papa yam ne ya wale nkrata ikura wapra wakwa adwuma makopra so obedidi so be de mami we amfa na ni akohwe papa ne da na de atwa ma wo ma enra ye ni bre eti ni gu amonte ni sei mami we ya wada no de papa no akọ immigration ese ni kunu no enso wonte da won mo kwai na ma papa ni pipa bi say on sign papa no si o de command lawyer mami ni si da bi sign na yen krata na ye no ehun ayi ana o ma papa ni sign pipa no monim sa pipa na o ma papa ni sign na ye removal order e chese papa na sign say obe free krom ha akọ Ghana. Esa se wontimi nka wonim nti wadada papa ne de papa na akọ ama na kwasai pipa ne se on free krom ha akọ ga ono a volunteer so obe free ha akọ Ghana. Eye nde ya me ne mukasai enne papa ne yeso magi ni ticket a ode kọ Ghana. Enne yesi papa ne magi ni ticket a ode kọ Ghana. Na no anopa ye tra samu eso ya tra so backdoor sa na chese ye ya homete. E was help lawyer ansa na enne aba to defend the man. Chasa no so akoye sikasem yakofra mami ototo papa so onka so onya aware na nam sida bi aware no ye nyeye because me dia dan se wa ya aware am obi enche e dia na so akwaji 30,000 na matese wasa dia another sika foforo eno so lodu ba ade na utiri mo ade sa e dia na wuye na wode na kwa ma na kwasa nkrata no se ye de ne kono ni sika no be ye ne de ai onko Ghana na obekwa kosponsor ni free Ghana ana yesida bi Wa mana say we wa community ni self we enti say wa bro ni kope obi say sanete dia instant na ye fa papa ni dia duro Friday no so na holiday asam ana ye aduro e de ma papa no wo be je di say email en no ye receive ye ni che say what voluntary so be kwa Ghana enti aduro no kro mu nsom sawa ye be kama mi ya no cha otimi papa ni enti no wo ya no obo papa ni di no o threaten ni ade na ade ba kwa ye me ya ne se muntie ade mo a mo ya aware nkrata no muntie sa asem we se wo ne obi ya aware nkrata no ye insurance to so wo Canada ha no ye insurance to so a na ukọ Ghana munim de omo ye ukọ Ghana na no akope death certificate ye fake from Ghana no de abekre mu se wawu e wo Ghana no wa gi insurance sika no ebi na mami we de ye papa no wa ye de what or the one that insurance at one no mammy so papa no only crata na fe no pen crata no mammy we am papa ya waji ni sika say I insurance at no so and aboso me na papa ne mom ne yakwaji ni sika de be insurance no abra no oni system nim ni bibia ni system nim enti wo pia papa na ti kwa ama na kwa Ghana enti no de ne kwa ye kwa side paper no wasa bipa ni wie na wase enne onkoji take it no onko Ghana no okodru Ghana na maami we wama ya bo death certificate ye fake from Ghana ne de abra no okokremu se ni kunu na wu enti se mo wusi ade maami we ato ha asem ni gina draw so na je ye mawra wo ne say we look we the way was sikasa ye ne kadru ba bi no wase sika no ntwa na bisu betwia aha asem na ba wo betwia sika no enti ya basra mo obiara ni ye we waji sika from me wa waju sika no kwana kwaju sika there's one pending na wasaji another money enti misra mo hwa ni ye ya de obi to ha anya se ye se nipa kro no ya de to se de be ya mo be ya hwe ye enso ya de to wo ne wo kira wo mo be nya obi abu no na ye ka asam no ne ada ni nipa bonefo asam no su egusu aye ka nti ye be koso aye nipa bonefo enti sam ami we owo krom ha say na no pay me the letter kwa na adwumam me ko report na immigration for wasi obema ya 20,000 ene sika ne mu 20,000 so what the 20,000 e ba dia anya dia me report no anasam the letter be kwa na adwumam na so wan fasika na mma o say 3 pm wan fasika na mma me report no the evidence akoma no say me na ma report no Sanyama we nyina need to stop. Mutimo ade. Anya mami we nko mi wo maame fo waka ho fo. Ente se wono ni de afuma ka di patre. Na me twen so mo so de beba. Ana me wo papa ba akubi. Usu ya papa panya wagidi wo krom apa wagidi wo ya mamponi. Usu pesa wo giska ni bi. Ah usu wo gi 20,000 fro bi wo. Medical ye video ato wo say me pesa me bodi enti papa anyi wo bia sika. Na wonya gisika no kwa de abebodi. So when you give me wo picture on oba no kwa picture edam phone so sesia so when you Jessica the pay me this picture na be to abonta ma obi ahu ye ntrati obi a by the mu ye no so nye obi atire kroma 6 years o ja na yire ne ma ho wa betire kroma wa gini sika wa hu se ye de mu be to abonta na mo ho ye nkrofo wan wa say ye mo pa na mo ye say yes eye wo mo pa na ye ya do me to abonta na ye nkrofo wan wa say ti di pass be si pa na ye say me say yes or no a enti mo a ya na mo kasa yan ka asam ne backdoor no na immigration asam ne de ba ha no eya haya sa papa anya hwia bone so nya hwia mo so ye nkrofo de hwia o ya do mo ko Ghana mo timi ko ne nsansa sa waje obi 30,000 say ye won ati conflict room akone fa aye media no hwa na e beka what Ghana no or ye de no ko Ghana kra no ko hwe bia ba chichirere enti na ya me say anopeya me anwa me di bibia me do letter matro nyina akire o se sika na man a me reporto na me the evidence amount wuti mo den onim se wa ya aware ama obi not too long ago wasa akwa ya aware wasa ji obi sika biem adey just say ya so lokwa adwuma ni de chese mfa so obi ani ye so ye de ye mobra na mo wi akotena ba bi aka se o mo mobra me dey free ukra wa fa de sigi Jessica we na yesa Jessica foforo afiri wo na sa ma me form yensa na mo ka eche no sa mo beka sa mo form sika kwa mom na asam na haya na metwi agu mo form sika mom haya na metwi agu yenya do ba aye line no so e be jojo yes because they mo pe mo tiri mo den enti mo amoya aware nkrata no so obi ka say or your life insurance at all so you're very careful who call Ghana na wo life insurance for no number ye de wo free akọ ye deport wo apen wo free insurance for so unwu ye wote ase because omo ye mo sa na omo kwa no makoji death certificate from the big claim sika no aha Toronto news
for in some way and a man edit to now you be moving on near concept for so Sabra me no ka se yin nim says SNS John Ramani mama oba ben mu no or the BB by a operation recover all loot. Now, aside from that, to the OSP Kisiejabeng, he was actively investigating some new cases. Aside from that, the Attorney General was also actively investigating some cases. So one notable case, videos about out how people stashed billions of Ghana cedis and how people diverted funds. They claim say omukoma Israel for contracts and mama ba Ghana for your cyber security. Sa contract in yana fake inflate sika no from $7 million sika na nke say be $1 million timi inflate no e man ye $7 million na kwabrane apocket $7 million so ene obi ana before MPP ba ban mu no onika anasa office kwa oni bi na nipa no oyo multi-billionaire o oni estate is legal. In fact nipa ye kana asem Charles Edibuan, the former National Signals Bureau or boss CEO on an na me no ka say same way course no obeti na nsin a ana social na nsin untin nsem no ho hwe. Even though me no ka say Attorney General so offer the key witness as a key witness no or no na the personal assistant to Charles Edibuan, he also be testify against Charles Edibuan no. Sa key witness I see and be join the camp of Attorney General no. Still now a kamia quest the case no ye hu be a aircraft because it was supposed to be going well, and by now no a person like Charles Edibuan they are supposed to be in jail. But now key witness ye nya no key witness you see according to report and by a shini cha kwan ye hu no on backward why yira was den. And no na me no ka say no Paul Adomoche or the same bia ba betu say e kamia kwa say we may end 2028 na Attorney General, the Office of the Special Prosecutor OSP Kisiejabeng, together with Oral, together with all the relevant state agencies, no, yintiminchi any person say why we this we di Ghana sika from a year or no Paul Adomachi Ankasa to a year Edubuahin to me to a whole lot of the SkyTrain scandal, a whole lot of issues. You could see in a year Paul Adomachi or the Tuja, your Babaka. We will definitely continue this particular update.
Now, things are looking a certain way for some people. Okay, so the Kwabena Edubuahin trial began with an arrest of, wait, I'll come to that. With an arrest, a wanton, brutal, contrary to human rights arrest of Kwabena Edubuahin. They bundled him at the airport as if he's going to run away somewhere. And then they took him in, they kept him in for a while, attaching her to submit several bail applications. They got the court to vary the bail. In fact, at some point, they arrested his wife as well. In fact, at some point, they arrested somebody who was coming to visit him. Somebody, another important actor of state, was going to visit Kwabena Edubuahin. It's just to understand, and then they arrested him as well. You know, so these good. Kwabena Edubuahin has gone through all of that. And then the case starts. The case starts, and the case is that Kwabena Edubuahin had taken $7 million of state money in a state account, transferred it to a private account which he controls, and the intention of transferring that money was so that Kwabena Edubuahin will go and use the money to buy houses and homes in Accra and Konongo and all kinds of places. That's what we were told. So then the case starts. Kwabena Edubuahin's defense has always been that, wait a minute, the equipment that you are talking about, it was bought, it's there, it's being used, it's currently being used. And that's why we have been able to extend our antenna to these days, occasioning many arrests. You see the police arrest people all the time because the equipment is supposed to sort of trail you with your mobile phone digits and your mobile phone IT connections. So where your mobile phone is, that's where you are. So right now I'm standing here, this is my mobile phone. That equipment knows that Paul Adomotre is at North Ridge. If I move from here and I go to +233 to listen to music, they know that Paul Adomotre is at +233. If I move to Medina, they can tell that Paul Adomotre is in Medina. That's the equipment that Kwabena Edubuahin purchased. It was an equipment that he had, as an intelligence official, had recommended to the government that, look, we need this if we have to curb crime. Because in those days, the Stakwade girls issue, all of that, all of those things what led to the thinking that we needed this equipment. So he got the equipment. Now, the people who manufactured and sold the equipment, a letter was written to them by Atachia, the lawyer. And they responded and said, yes, we did. We sold the equipment. The equipment is there. Since the government started, at least one minister and the president have had occasion to refer to the use of that equipment in their speeches, in their formal speeches. At least one minister and the president have all referred to it. So the trial is on. They are trying Kwabena Edubuahin for an equipment that they said he didn't buy, and instead he used the money to buy cars and all of that. As part of this trial, you know that even Shatawale has been involved. You heard Shatawale complaining that I don't know Eduboahin. Eduboahin didn't give me the car. You people call me and say I should say that Eduboahin gave me the car. You heard Shatawale say those things. So that has been another angle of the Eduboahin story. Goes to Shatawale's house, sees his Lamborghini, say that the Lamborghini is for Eduboahin. Shatta says Lamborghini is not for Eduboahin. It is for me. What's the problem? Anyway, we have also gone through that epoch. That also has been crossed. And then we also heard some of the people who were in the defense with the Eduboahin, that is some of the staff of the National Signals Bureau that were also arrested and arraigned before the court. One day we woke up, one of them said that, I don't want to be with the Eduboahin anymore. I want to be with the prosecution, etc., etc. We heard all that. Okay. So how is the case going on? Then this lady who is for the prosecution, who used to be the Eduboahin, comes into the dock. She brings a statement. The statement is tendered by the prosecution, that this is her statement. In cross-examination, Atachan observes that the date of the statement suggests that the statement was written after the trial had begun. Normally, witness statements are taken during the investigation, and that's what they bring to the trial. But Atta observed that on this one, the date for the trial seemed like, the date of the document seemed like it was done after the trial had started. So he then queried and quizzed the lady that, apart from this statement, did you have any other statements? She said, yes, I did. 2 more. Okay, Atta said, okay, then the prosecution should bring that. Atta is relying on a Supreme Court decision involving the case of the Attorney General in Bafo-Boni, where the court held that the accused person should be given all the opportunity to defend himself, including documents that the accused person wants to bring. There should not be a question of whether the document is relevant or not. That decision will be taken at the end of the trial, but the accused person must be allowed to bring the document. So Atta invoked that one, and the High Court said, yes, the accused person, bring the document. And then comes Sremsai, his boss is Dominic Ahini. Sremsai goes to Supreme Court to say that they don't want that. They want the Supreme Court to vary its earlier decision, where they said that the accused person should be allowed to have all the documents that he needs. The question of relevance should not be raised at the time when the accused person says, I think I need this document. The question of relevance will be determined depending on the weight that the court will put on the document, one way or the other. So let the document come and let the court make a determination on it. Let's not the court say that I say I want birth certificate, and they tell me that birth certificate is not relevant for your defense, so you can't have it. No. The Supreme Court has ruled expressly that no. If an accused person says, I need passport, give it to him. I need birth certificate, give it to him. I need daily graphic of 16th November, give it to him. Don't say what is it relevant or not. No. He has to defend himself. And you have to establish your case beyond reasonable doubt. He has to defend himself because it's a criminal trial. Now, Sremsai goes to Supreme Court and tells the Supreme Court that, can you change that decision? Because here we are, we don't want this Kwabena Eduboahin guy to have the document, any document at all. We want him to satisfy the test of relevance. And Atacha says that, but the test of relevance has been excluded by the Supreme Court at this stage. It has been excluded by a clear Supreme Court decision. He says no, even though that Supreme Court decision was in the favor of the NDC as at the time it was procured or as at the time that it was given, Sremsai goes to Supreme Court and says, no, Supreme Court, change it. The Supreme Court respond very loudly by a 6-1 decision. They tell Justice Sremsai that will never change it. The accused person is a Ghanaian. Every accused person is Ghanaian. He must have the right to bring the documents that he wants to bring. You can argue that is not relevant. The judge can make that decision, but you can't say that he says, I want daily graphic of 16th March, and then you say it's not relevant, so you can't have it. No, the Supreme Court has been clear on that. 6-1 decision. So that was the last time they went to court. So today, court came. Yesterday, court came. So the lady has to be, the cross-examination has to continue. This is the lady who used to be with Eduboahin and says that I've now left Eduboahin. Okay. This one left much earlier. The other one is yet to come. So yesterday, she has done day 1 of cross-examination. Now let's go to the flyer. What happened yesterday? High Court has adjourned the case of Republic versus Eduboahin and others because the AG's second witness failed to show up in court. This is the Attorney General who is conducting oral, who is in a hurry to demonstrate that the things that they said at oral was correct. And they are now not coming to court so that the case has to be adjourned to another time. They are not coming to court. Their witnesses are not showing up in court. And we all have to come to court to learn that the witness didn't show up. If witnesses do not show up, don't they tell their lawyers that they won't show up? So viewers, that's the first red flag you have to observe. If witness doesn't want to show up, they tell their lawyers, I won't show up. The lawyers will communicate it. That witness is not available. Can we take another witness, or can we do something else, or can we adjourn? But this one, we all come to court. Court rise, witness is not available. That one, there's a story behind it that we have to find. So this is where the matter is. And I'm telling you, viewers, that this thing is going like that. One leg is blowing the wind, the other one is blowing the wind, the other one is blowing the wind. You see, there was a funeral in Koforidua. I saw the videos. I'm not sure what funeral it was. There was this funeral in Koforidua. Is it Koforidua or Asaman Kese or something like that? The videos were on social media, red and black tent. And some wind, rain type wind, had blown the tent away. It had raised the thing and blown the mourners were running helter-skelter. I think it was a stadium. It looks like some important person, but I just saw the video. I don't know who it is. The thing had blown the video. The video had blown the red and black thing. I saw some Ghana flag there, so I think it's some important person, but I'm not sure. I don't know why it's Koforidua or Asaman Kese, some place like that. They just raised the thing. The funeral, they were funeral, and then some wind raised the thing, threw the cars away. That's the way sometimes some of these cases can become. You see, the case is going on, but you can see that.
Okay, so that is Paul, I don't much your part to say. The according the one Charles Edubuahi obiganity edidim. And somebody and same be. So we'll move on to the next update as you see Minuka say koso. And therefore, if you follow me us on this particular platform, realize I've been taking you through the cocoa scandal. Now, recently, Cocoa Kiafo Edibetuja said they've not been paid by the government of Ghana. And the government of Ghana, Kokobo CEO, which is Randiabe, who is definitely a member of the government of Ghana, Odibetuja, who was appointed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Odibetuja say, the entire to Cocoa Kiafo is because of cocoa beans no more. Sisiano, one more also motono, or more person metal. Okay, and because the reason is because there's low demand, which means a choir number for pet chocolate, a cocoa, or maybe chocolates, no sad demand above form. And two, on the one stage, Nankasa, there's the demand for cocoa are down, and even because of the demand down, ama prices are dropping because say ton adiama na me see me pay bioma. Ultimately, wo ton na pay usika. You have to reduce the price to entice me into the cocoa board time and cocoa prices the prices was rank or also no more trend because their projection was that the prices would go up, but did not factor in the dollar CD issue and dollar buffem, and also at the point in time many countries are more Caribbean almost started cocoa. So Ghana has competition not just with Cote d'Ivoire but also with Ecuador and other countries. It's because of that the cocoa is an and because of that the demand has fallen down, and because the demand has fallen down, I'm price above form. I think for the past 72 hours, 3 days, they are at the premises of Cocoa Border. Information on more can see into number one. See a government say me 1 billion they to cocoa for ne car. Omusika into and also one decision on my can see a cocoa for mubu fune say. Sisiano cocoa beans are also more turn aboard the man to me some and share my price number for man. Sisiano, most of my betty cocoa prices so. Yes, come with the my so. Bruni because a haircut. Now the cocoa farmers are saying that they won't understand and they are demonstrating El Cocoa Board. We have series of videos because we know because the Catholic Bishops Conference almost some people are saying that this is the first major scandal of the John Dramani Mahama administration. But before then, there was series of videos extra the ongoing demonstration will be 80 years demonstrated. This is not looking good for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Inche video baba ka ebeto aso. Now, this is just one part of it. There were other videos so not just say Ibimu air kasa. In the video somewhere to aso ama. It's yanko share this particular video. These are cocoa farmers or maybe a crass abakra hasia. They are saying they are demonstrating because all of these things are equation or montias, and some people even slept there overnight, which tells you the severity of this demonstration. Cocoa and cocoa na watu
here sika okay try yourself obeto koko 60 million over here 35 million wa don 36 abe we say bet so yes no obe ese samaye koko ya ton sika pe ye nyabi yes no pa so oma sika no amra na sanka yes sika yes no
opanyini mu ye ha ni ya ayeboko President Mahama, campaign. I can't take over your voice. Yeah, you have Western of Enayaba. And now you have the petition Western of regional Kokobo. See, your boy Trapper has said, you have a petition on Musa Kalas and Musa Gai. President Mahama can say, Koko Noa, Nanado, Atono, 31 million. But we are young. See, what Bob is 6,500. Master, your son can 6,500. Or may 3,600, 6,300, 600. Or that is so, I'm a number 25 million. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Once you have one of them. Nanado Dodica 3,000. Or basically, now you're man.
Okay, so that was one of the parts now Omokasa. Now in this particular video, the cocoa farmers actually boarded the bus. If you say she any other environs, ebe demonstrate say sika na eya kufa de eti omo Mahama promises say oba obe masa sika na kwosro no wa say sika no ba ye mama na nkosro. 2 uba so ba beteso o teso so asisi an kokko ekuafo sky e de mo omoso no at the end of the day no ye omo sentimi ka omusika. And these are people with families kokko board for motena sekra directors no kokko motena sekra omunya what we call allowance. In video we ye ba ye beto aso
Your mama don't lie. I'm going. say 1 plus 1 they say 2. What I say 15 million, now 17 million. And you did the promoting the mouth. The day the promoting all got now can present it. The other country and when you be last year.
Osikalo, ya share say 8 year Ediama license buying companies, you know. You can say as at no more than 1 billion Ghana cedis. Ediama all the license. Osikalo, ya share say 8 year Ediama license buying companies, you know. You can say as at no more than 1 billion Ghana cedis. Ediama all the license buying companies. Ya go so 8 year kana. Ain't biano okay ni dia sika akonkemu Nisabeka. It's another the person Mamusa assurance. They say, I shall say 8 year. Me say, I shall say 8 year license buying companies. LBCs no. I shall say to them, hey, the other go do say reply. No, it's Kusaka or Sika. It is Sika there. Oh, master, what the name of me no buy. First one. Musika Musika mamo. And the second one is Sikana a coconut tissue. What I say, yes, I educate me addressing one after the other. And I say, first one is a Kana cocoa board Edimono. There shall see 8 year license by companies. The other do Senequano now Sika already. As at yesterday, now 1 billion, more than 1 billion Ghana cedis. The church here, Edama license by companies now. Omechamuka. They are talking me, and it's a cocoa price that it is, more percent, echo, the Bianewo, Dodano, you, Mate, petition on the Bino, you have the better penny for him, La almost no, Edakoto, a year president in him.
So these were some of the scenes, of course. So during the demonstration, I mean, because the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Omababe Kasa about these cocoa farmers, price and haircuts, and also know how are you into Omoka. And this particular post came from Ekojo Ponkruma. He shared what the National Catholic Secretariat, the Catholic Bishop Conference, remember, as a Catholic is the biggest Catholic church, the biggest church of Okruma with over 2 million or so members. So they coming together to address this issue, very much important. So, the Catholic Bishops' Conference believes cocoa farmers shouldn't be the ones to bear the brunt. It's this year, Catholic Bishops' Conference or Makasa. Now, later, a year or share, we have it in full force here. You be ready, exactly what the Catholic Bishops' Conference or Moka. Into a ready the whole screen, so I'll say. This is a press statement coming from the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference. Or say an urgent call to rescue Ghana's cocoa sector. So now they are saying, we need to rescue the Ghana's cocoa sector. Or say the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference expresses grave concern over the deepening crisis in Ghana's cocoa sector and its devastating impact on farmers and rural communities. In the part the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, say cocoa in some they are not happy. They want something to be done. And at the end of the day, when we say it affecting not just farmers, but the country as a whole. Also, for months, many farmers have endured delays in payment for cocoa already delivered, resulting in unpaid labor, disrupted schooling, mounting debts, and growing vulnerability to illegal mining. The recent reduction in the producer prices has further eroded confidence and intensified hardship. So according to the Ghana Catholic Bishops, the reason why Ghana are buying, how they are handling the cocoa prices, a very bad news is because you didn't say galamsey about the issue, because now people are selling their lands to do galamsey. And see, a bit maybe to entice the farmers not to tend their lands or use their lands or give it to galamsey people to mine gold there, because need gold now you should cyanide now. The land spoils for almost 30 years. Assassin Esaya, Udia Sebio in Rura or so fifi. It just destroys. So all of these things are esino. And then it was a now at the end of the day, they'll feel embodied. and also strengthen to do more farming. Yet it is kind of so. Also, musika and these are people with wives, with husbands, with family. They have to pay school fees, they have to pay rent, and they have to take care of their family. They even have to survive and feed themselves. We note that while international market conditions fluctuate, farmers must not bear the full burden of systematic and historical failures. At the very least, existing producer prices should be sustained where increases are not feasible. During years of windfall gains, producer prices were not raised proportionately. Equity and justice therefore demand that accumulated surpluses be used to cushion farmers in difficult years, to penalize them for circumstances beyond their control, to penalize them because circumstances beyond their control will be insensitive and morally indefensible. So according to the Catholic Bishop Conference, some parties say, "Sa cocoa issues where cost and your cocoa careful and the cost." Why? Because years before, the cocoa prices actually went up. Mind you, before cocoa price cost the same price on the more. And whilst cocoa price went up, Ghana buying and Kasi increased the price of cocoa. They took the beans, they sold it at higher prices, and they pocketed it for a buying. Now, in this case, we need a surplus because Ghana buying or talk cocoa at 3,500 cedis per ton if you care for. Now, or ton Bruni mine so for 6,000 cedis. Now, 6,000 cedis, cocoa price now cost from 10,000. A buying air pocket is can because proportionately, now was a price is no cost ra affected the cocoa farmers, but then affected. Sana sena na omoton cocoa board the same price. It's abane sana drama so price number former. Why do you then want to bring down the price? Whilst before no prices no cost ra, you don't increase. So if the price go up and you don't increase, when the prices go down, you don't also have to decrease. You have to maintain because a cost on unya is saving and you use it for your own gains. Whilst the cocoa board managers were taking that money as bonuses, Bonibeka say a surplus. Tisia and Akofoma, Ghana buying have to bear the cost. So I see. The conference is also alarmed by Ghana's weakening position in the global cocoa economy. Ecuador is on course to overtake Ghana as the world's second largest cocoa producer, while the combined output of Nigeria and Cameroon threatens to form powerful third force. These shifts, alongside climate stress and land degradation from illegal mining, places Ghana at a strategic crossroads. And now, these Ghana Catholic Bishop party say one other things too, which is very much shocking. Ghana first, Ghana was the first, the whole world first, and then Ghana was the number one producer of cocoa. Yet now, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire for ya, na economy ni amaniema nkoyi, omuso, ama Cote d'Ivoire the whole world, omuye number one. Sisi asono, a country be in the Caribbean, a friend Ecuador, omuso climate are good for producing cocoa and harvesting and actually farming cocoa. Sisiano Oma Bomo Homodiama Sia Ecuador will be the second largest producer of cocoa. They are on course to overtake Ghana to be the second largest producer of cocoa in the world, which is a Ghana, yeah, third. Uye nufiwa uko Nigeria. Nigeria for say, hey, yasas and the so saying Ghana for omoye cocoa. Yes, we bit my cocoa. See, they also buy the beans, and now Cameroon and Nigeria are also harvesting. Those countries have huge land masses. Or masses 3 times Ghana, which means that they can harvest more, they can plant more, and even get more profits, and even sell at a cheaper price. When that happens, we need to see Ghana near number 1. You see, about number 2, Ecuador overtake about number 3. Nigeria and Cameroon will also come and overtake us, or may come and overtake us, which means that Ghana will be the 6th largest producer of cocoa in the whole world, from number 1 to number 6. Whilst back home here, a crafono, cocoa, no, and a moton assassin, and my for a Chinese for Eddie Galamsey, a crumha. It is so sad. A Diana first, yet Toma young scano. Tisian ye Galamsey first. And instead of us to do things at the end of the day, no, ebe make careful say Ghana for a taumechi ni ebe encourage farming, no. we are rather pushing them to sell their lands or use their lands for galamsey. So we therefore call for the immediate payment of all arrears, transparent financial restructuring of the Ghana Cocoa Board, sustained producer prices, intensified investment in productivity, and a depoliticized national dialogue centered on farmers' welfare, youth participation, research, and local processing must be prioritized to secure the sector's future. So, it was a international who said, okay, what is the way forward? One of the themes, we are resetting. Mama Oban or we are resetting or Frebi said sorry or Frebi said the resetting agenda. So if Mahama wants to come and do the resetting agenda here, then it means say I was a cocoa issue where it means solving once and for all. And that is why come and see the Catholic Bishop Conference Omode Oye Omano Ababe to Sansem Wemua Menuka say no, you can say things are not looking good. For this particular government demonstration, we learned some people even had to sleep there, which is definitely a very bad deal. So this is exactly what is really going on in the We will be giving you more updates as all of these various events continue to unfold. The issues are now about obi ekowia abofra manprobi polyclinic. Woman we are nebano. And yes, the initial nurse, obi awo fufuru. I was so quick because Ghana for yempa hojo. Only Ghana ni kasa. Now your boka. Onhusa wodi esebio. We ni so nyeshe. Wodi we jimi. O sheni shege. Now ma we ni bre na uti. Mo say eh papa ya sema okini ni abre. Me Matina Nima, Madina, Dakuma. These are Muslim communities. They will meet you with full force. So I know exactly how they react and how Ghanaians react to people like that. Mind you, Nipane Wianeban or a Muslim. The video snap out, you saw how on the bush for they stormed the premises, the director and the manager of the hospital. Ultimately, they were demanding CCTV footage. How's the nurses were there saying, say, Munyabote, hospital, Abi you be back. These same hospitals, okay? Apart from Probi Polyclinic, you be bano. Nancy reported a branch befriended Charles Ebisa. On your accident, I was circled overhead, no so. Within 3 minutes, I'm afraid ambulance by. You didn't call Rich Hospital, Rich say in Penny Hall. You didn't call Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Kolebu say in Penny Hall. You didn't call 37 Military Hospital, 37 Military say in Penny Hall. You didn't call University of Ghana Medical Center. You didn't do Hoppe and Uye. And don't think what that media that's sorry ya. Menu kase siano security man or rage ya bono ama menu kase baby or dani di enya asem ketwa. Now we share the worst news was a man arrested for assaulting a security guard at Rage Hospital after being denied entry to the maternal ward past visiting hours. So now no video we share according to papaya ya channel party said ni irawo akwhwe ne ba Okoshane here, yes, my name called because visiting hours a trip. Na papa say Oshana no you send me so. Anyhow, we are in Crawford bar. Who security man who to me can't say, or about late into uncle fee they be either you give me my wife and I say the best shout. And no and I mean say security man ye a branch yes or ye a bemua, or you be at you on said the sir. And also security man also my men commercials and men on my bottom. Any papa. Yes, no bona enyasem. Now we have the video. How this particular man was beaten to the core. Babaka, there's a crucial update. Abba.
How about this guy?
Okay, so video I was sharing a security man and menu kase sisia no. It's a one slap and no tower on sorry view. And I mean, no say near ration in the emergency. A branch na or puncher and as or man is a blue. No casisiano. Yachina ultimately, you know, police force or more investigation into this particular issue. I mean, no say no Ojen Hokra on tia. So, Papa na babe kasa, but because of time, we can't show that particular video. Now, in there, no. I was telling you about in summer nano a course so a man probi polyclinic because ye chemu ya how can say obi bit me maternity ward if you say ufi here or see o me a nurse just like that too Emma need to me ra baby ya wo in bofra for de o mato ho no okoko faba epie which means that issues e cause nurses for ni bi ni nkrophobia one a tomb bofra no e no kre based on this so me no ka say no openimu bia or the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, or the Ababe to just all the health workers, they must wear their identification cards. Because so be me hospital. Ebabe wiaba. Ama enye CCTV footage. In fact, CCTV footage no krano. Etiman cheso no we are you. Eni niaba and about ebeka say. Mi nye ya. Waso ako we means suspect so him. Eba no ako we are on no report say. Ni niaba ama yeche no. So imagine if one reporting by now no issue at the hot the hosa you can 1 week na issue no about a police case. You think some opinion edituja.
So why do we wait for untoward circumstances to occur before we come up with ad hoc measures?
All right. Thank you so much. Let me rectify that we don't wait for unfortunate situations to happen. We work around the clock, 24 hours of the day, and we always want our health system to give its best. But of course, time to time, you might come across situations of this. But if you may recall, way back on 28th of April, 2025, we even gave a directive regarding issues of our health staff, all irrespective of category, to wear the established uniform and have name tags, and especially those who interface with patients. It's not just about nurses, it's not just about doctors, it's about all health staff, so that they will be easily identified and their names can easily be known. And if somebody different, not part of the service delivery, comes into contact with the service, will be easily identified. But then the person will not have name tag, will not have uniform. Even if it does, we would have known ourselves regularly. And it would have been easy to even identify.
So that was in summer Director General Neka Sisiano, Bibia Yasi do not have in a Ghana for nurses, or more name tag. It's here for me, Bibia Nami Ye Juma 2012. Me will name tag. And then after in 2026. After na Ghana for next year, best show me some name tag because we be to match nurse at a Bora hospital. I could yaba EP. We are funny now. A bright here and the picture was screen. So I was telling you earlier, say, oh no, he was declared missing. Ofifie, I think before somewhere 6th of February. Okwe Juma wo industrial area on the farm for near the adine yejuma or engineer. A sign a no any traffic or the motorbike and the Juma. All back on one back. Into 2 days time na family nomology complaints are branch and your friend and son cano near the ade. A hawk and ye this are missing flyer ye buy. The next day and information said that's somewhere on the 9th or so, 10th or so, and information by a branch and ye but he's deceased. So me myself, I was asking myself, say, I didn't see it. And I told you earlier, say, Ofi ejuma bano offer a year circle overhead no industrial area circle ho and I'll be far North Canadian be far be say obeba bibi I'll be by say otia denta osu into offer overhead no so no or ye circle overpass no and ye say ka bi born na kan born kan dwane but then one more omo ye hwa de for mo ho no omo fra ambulance in 3 minutes and ambulance ne buy ye fa papa na ye man oxygen ya de ye call hospital de call 37 no 37 say omo ni mpa papa no ye ntimi hwe no ye de papa ye san so ambulance rush papa no ekọ the Rich Hospital ya bu security man ye de call ho ye de call Rich for say omo so mo ni mpa papa ye san so de ne call kolebu for so omo ntimi omo so mo ni mpa ama papa no kolebu ho no akasa between the ambulance people and also the health workers, the doctors, because almost he had now got 3 hospitals or so. Imagine Obebu, the man is bleeding, the man is suffering. Oh, 30 minutes. Na ambulance for no, or many health workers for no, edi akwanyaba. And ultimately, no, Kolebu for say, yenti minche no, yagne mo kan. Modia mo fa no University of Ghana Medical Center. Inti e kwan so no mo de ne kwa papa no. You didn't do University of Ghana Medical Center. You didn't be able to room and you kwa just say, yeah, sure, papa no, papa ni cardiac arrest, papa ni buye. This man was 29-year-old, the friend Charles Emisa, or an engineer, or Ketri Kafanti. He died because of the stupid institutions like these hospitals are. Ghana pe and Abe Yarabe hospital are. Yabeka just yintimi show impact. It's here for 4 hospitals. 37, Rich, Kolebu, and the University of Ghana Medical Center. Unim die cha wo. Ebra yedi do Kolebu Medical Center pano ye ne pi owu ye no. Doctor need to me ra efi Kolebu buy or buy or buy be do the premise of University of Ghana Medical Center or be check papa ne pulse or buy or check papa ne pulse and who say papa ne heart attack or not so papa ne wu inti yenfa no to Kolebu mortuary. Some way it puts a dent on Ghana's health sector, and based on this, the Minister of Health, Minta Akando, were launching investigation, but then it's just a word of mouth. But then today, the Ministry of Health have brought out a press release detailing, say they will be taking this matter on. Remember, I said this is a young, vibrant man. As I said, it could be someone's husband, or someone's son, or be someone's father, someone's brother, and someone's worker, and maybe someone's employee. He died because the stupid institutions and the nurses for omuko school, home they are there because there's no job, They refuse to take care of a person, all because of negligence. Now, the Ministry of Health, also press release. Ministry of Health constitutes investigation commenced into alleged denial of emergency care. So now they are telling us, say, yes, omafa nkofo ana omapa nkofo mba investigation ni ehu die see. Or say Ministry of Health constitutes investigation committee into alleged denial of emergency care. Number 1, in response to the alleged denial of emergency care leading to the death of a 29-year-old engineer, Charles Emisa, on the 6th of February 2026, the ministry has constituted a 3-member high-level investigation committee to conduct a comprehensive and independent inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the incident and to establish the facts. This year, the Ministry of Health party say, investigate these people. They don't have any ties with these hospitals, the Kolebu, the Rage and Co. And we are independent. The facts about. 2. The committee will examine the sequence of events, the decision-making processes involved, and any contributing factors that may have led to delays or challenges in the provisions of emergency care. So now the committee is tasked to examine what really happened. DNC, a brand is a branch and then the core intimate channel. At a point in time, ambulance for, you see, I think for idea were so sad. Reports na di kan ba fi ibusafo na part say one more ambulance for na part say they even begged at one hospital Kolebu ne rate say mo dey apa mo say penny wa empower your ambulance no mo behwe no empower your ambulance mo behwe no. Doctors funny say they be, nurses funny say they be. It's for you to aso. Number 3, so I say it will assess the adequacy and effectiveness of existing policies, protocols, and oversight mechanisms governing emergency healthcare delivery. It is why and how they can solve this and to stop these things from occurring again in the future, which I know say it will occur again definitely. 4. The committee is composed of Professor Ajiman Bedu Akosa, who is a pathologist and a chairman. 2. Dr. Henry Kwesi Bule, who is a representative of the Ghana Medical Association. And 3. Dr. Koku Awuno Williams, who is a technical advisor to the health minister. So these are the people on the committee is expected to submit its report reports and recommendations to the Honorable Minister for Health on or before 5th March 2026. And on or before on 6th March 2026. Now again, almost sounds so in this particular second report say as you can see on the screens. Or say, the Ministry of Health assures the public of its commitment to promoting integrity, strengthening accountability, and ensuring that all health facilities adhere strictly to established standards of emergency care delivery. And this was issued by a Thorny Goodman. So it's here for a brand you can't home semsa no. See on the health ministry is saying that they are going to do investigation into this case. Into investigation into this particular case no. And no. And now, you see here any crime in some way a 29-year-old man. It's here for only 29-year-old. All because you didn't call hospital, no. You see in Penny Hall. In Penny Hall. In fact, Ghana, I don't want to spit certain bad words on the country, but then the country is just worse. Bad. We can't just blame the government. We also have to blame the people because Mahama and the car said on share sa particular papi. And your health minister and the car said on share no. Baby. A young kasa young crop for necessary omubesu no major bonting. And the entire car and a pay as no musu muntia have worked for few months. These nurses are umbesu gidi no more demonstration or and almost say ye do biaba in Penny Hall. Emergency nipa ni name bu eblidi. Am I and shehama paying your heart attack my pay you. These same nurses na we have a catch them to nurses for a year demonstration. Me cover. Me kebi mobile. They will sit there, on bed demonstration. Me na me present. I can nurses cry. Well, I don't want to see certain things. So sad. But therefore, in some way, and of course, I say, dream cry. Once again, we are live, so we'll be very much happy to get your comments in the comment section, and we also get your opinion on this particular issue. Menuka say aba ubia ekanwa sema. This definitely sina midi kankano a very sad news. Now, you better also na it is a yako a year in simple for so because definitely we have a lot of issues. Yebeka Hunsem right here on this particular platform. It's here for women ocean on the screens, or you will be I just say, if any Millicent Yabwa, okay, NDC or NDC member of parliament, if any Millicent Yabwa or Sansi MP for Sunyani West. Now, women, you say all trending on social media for all the wrong reasons. Last year, this particular woman trended because of Insembi and the Brofibio of parliament. Now, this year too, she's trending again. All because of Insembia women akwa in parliament again. Now, you be the cash in summer women kokan ye. And then no cause a man for a party say if NDC is putting or pushing these people at the front line, then the party is doomed. Already a man for a party women, obelusu the upcoming elections. Why? Because of how Sebio because of how she carries herself, and even in some any brofubi or can our parliament menuka says our brofu and a menuka say generate a whole lot of controversy. Now we have two videos involved which you watch and you definitely be shocked. Remember I said brofu and yeah kasa, so I don't hold her so much, but then the issue is that last year our cancer brofu our parliament floor, and this year too she went to say the same thing. And this year too, she went on to say the same thing. Ama obi wababa be kasa se sebio and some course a man will be brave kase yen fi parliament. Now before then, I think we have the first video, two videos. The question last year and some of the tuja. Any this year and some was answered tuja. All of this English or kind be no kasa gibberish. Brofunya kasa, but a gibberish. Yenshe video way of what she said, I think last year, yaba near Sanswa and some more kind this year. Now just say ya trust on the response or the aba.
If you are able to tell collapse banks, and people who was unemployed, you cannot today say that. But even Mr. Speaker, with determination. Yesterday, I am so surprised. My respectable colleague, he made mention that he couldn't even hear. He He couldn't even hear that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama spoke about job creation and then say any initiatives.
Okay, so Brofu and Okoka last year amount for dragging, you know. Now, this is just the beginning because this year too, she has repeated what Brunibeka said, this gibberish on the parliament floor. In some of Sanso Edituja.
And I will take this opportunity to express my condolence to the bereaved families. Because it's not easy, Mr. Speaker. I am saying that, and I will take this opportunity to express my condolence to the bereaved families.
Okay, so this is a member of parliament for Sunyani East or so, and she's speaking this gibberish English. Mind you, said there are children on more parliament house or musicians or more shake. And if our member of parliament is struggling to speak basic common English, and also the NAS, but people are also arguing, say, in fact, China, the Chinese people are speaking their own language in parliament. Portugal for Mukasa our parliament, German for Mukasa our parliament, France for Mukasa our parliament. But back Ghana, any other countries are yet you saw abroad for any colonial masters or Mukasa any parliament. Maybe it's high time we allow these MPs to speak freely in their local language. Omu we near translate ye ko UN adinta na obi a or your Portugal president or betina se kasa or kasa be kan on the kasa near translate English adinta intimi near the same thing our parliament. Now this MP aye kan asem aye Millicent aye Madam Millicent aye boa mankwa aye MP for Sunyani West. She has come back to actually fire back at people on Tibrofo ebe on step it down. She's disgracing the friend is saying she's disgracing His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We are even learning that she's even a minister. And therefore, this woman I can say me or a minister. Let me check the position a woman His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or their man a ministerial positioner. Ye their massa woman we no kasa man for say if it's possible. Excellency John Dramani Mahama only or only be found. What is she the minister of or a member of parliament for Sunyani West? Ministerial position. Okay, yes, or a managing director. Meaning a managing director or but then we'll do what near find a positioner or but then as I said no wababe kasa or the simpi ababe tuja into for a could see in summer a Madam Millicent Yabua what she is come in some about out ababe in response to amount for be omo party say mommy say brofono how into the ebe sa shane ebe how no ntimi nye adwuma na pe be tina because ene okọ Twitter ye the one that meme and yes say NDC for won say omonte brofo kojo oponkruma expressing home in a very fluent way no yakofa sabiu mami we and na unhu ne left and right and let's say echna say yenko tie nsema eye odi tudwa in response to what people are saying and even how people are saying say she should step down
on the English but developmental project, the good human relationship. A lot has been said. I don't even wish everyone should be even proud of you because when you're actually setting your path and journey, you won't get everyone to even like you. I have already motivated myself before coming on this street called politics. I understand life. But what baffles me most is when you watch young people that you think that they should sit down, think through matters, find out what are the pressing issues. Why are we where we are today and what we can do and put our leaders on their toes to execute whatever we need for us. We waste our energy on matters that are not relevant. Me, I am not someone you can bully. I just wanted you to know that if If you take your phone and go behind your phone and say whatever you want to say, it ends there. It doesn't have any impact on me. So I'm just wanting to use this medium to tell my friends, loved ones, people are so much concerned, people who are so concerned about the fact that this gets to me. I'm actually telling you it doesn't get to me. I am proud to be the most youngest in Parliament. This contribution I made was very vital. Why? Because we watch our women who could have traded in Ghana. We watched our women not to go out to trade anything, tomatoes, which we have enough fertile land that we could do, we could grow. We watch our women get themselves into this mess. And you think it is not important to talk about, but you're rather thinking about a mistake. You all that engaged in that, you should be shameful of yourself. Ask yourself that how old are you? Ask yourself, what is my contribution in the development of this nation? What am I adding up? For how long would we allow some politicians to use us as young ones just to set an agenda? I am up for women. I am up for the young ones. I know what I have been through. Growing up, relating with friends, relating with family members. But let me ask you this question. Do sometimes I watch their comments, I sometimes go and watch people behind these profiles. When you go to some international communities for seminars and other things, if you care to know that some do not even speak the English language, they would prefer to speak their own dialect. So I ask myself, are we ready as young ones? Why do we complain? We are complaining about things that we won't even sit down. Some of us will not even sit down and think about it. I'm a strong woman. Those that knows me so well. Yes, I am pretty. Yes, I am capable. Yes, I have the brain. You ask yourself, why? You ask yourself, why is this lady always on her feet? But why? Did I come to the chamber to be watching people? I came to the chamber to contribute to matters that are relevant to the extent that if it's affecting me as a woman, there is no way I would sit in that chamber and keep quiet. Majority of my constituents do not speak English. That is not what they are looking at. I am fortunate enough to have had basic education, proud enough to have gotten the opportunity to attend senior high school, graceful enough to have completed university. What are you talking about? I am urging every young person out there. Let us start to be serious about matters. You need followers. And so you will not talk about issues that pertain the growth of the country and the economy. Is it that every day we're going to blame each other politically? For what? If past leaders didn't lead well, what of today? What is your contribution? Se chin suni eka, me krom kasapa. Chia ye mi krom kasa, bunu kasa ye me kasam, uja me kapa. Now we share bloggers, and I see them say, what is happening? Upon all the important things we spoke about, is that what you using to judge? Me nya populism nyamao. Me nya yama me share nyamao. I mean business. Anyone who knows me knows that I mean business. Both APP, NDC, anyone that knows me knows that I am a serious young woman, very vibrant. But we should be very careful how we use the social media. Social media in other countries and other jurisdictions, they are taking good advantage of it. I just logged and plugged in today to tell all those that are sending me messages, calling me, that I knew what I was talking about. I understand the act so well because I didn't start today. I didn't start today. And so to every young woman, every powerful inner soul strong woman, I am telling you today that I am not paying attention to any naysayers and people who would want to distract the system. I just want you to know that.
Okay. In some way, na woman need to job and we so be a comment say a year Rose or say hello there and I always royal a bisa say or say always royal a post TBB about this particular woman. Before the mommy started commenting in fee a year, baby are now comments be brave, but let me read them near in this stream. Now, if you Prince Daniel, or say France is behind that stupidity of that oil field. If Ghana Navy and Ghana Armed Forces are strong, then they have to show Togo a lesson. So now Prince Pacha say, if Ghana Army and the Ghana Navy are stronger, they have to go and face Togo because in some way, it's not to say you can't about some maritime border. Yeah, the Togo for court, the really case. Now, Togo for their navy and their military is intimidating Ghana's military on the sea, on the maritime. And now, according to Prince David, Prince Daniel 77, or Pacha say, France for an attack Togo for each yes, because if Togo gets the oil, if Togo for na Safil nebedi or then France forbid my baby. Then you say, oh, Togo they are in bed with France. Sikamudi safer, which is regulated by France for another French for. In Tisiana, me no can say Prince Pass France for an attack Togo for each. So what should we do? Ghana ye military, any Ghana ye navy. We need to teach these Togo people a lesson. Moko ye debia yen court, yen kasa, yen tinasinka. This francophone people, they don't know what we talk. They don't know what we term as yen tinas and yen kasa. These Togo people don't know Yentnas and solving issues. They know force, they know bombing, they know navy, they know power. But that is all they see. into Choshe Ushe Yehua and now check country try in Wisha. All the francophone countries no coup d'etat bombing. We need to show them a small lesson. That is why I'm saying Benin for coup d'etat aircraft no Nigeria for the omo aircraft to conform bombe kakra no Benin for a steady. Again, me back down one a year Black Dot family say Ghana is a hypocrite to sue Togo. Bring that, you can jump your nearby country to Nigeria to form a bilateral trade with this. This Mahama is a problem. So now Black Dot family, kase, Mahama na a problem no. Mahama na a problem no to sue Togo. Why should we even sue Togo in the first place? Show them a lesson. Always Royal said Nessus name tag SA 2020. So Nessus as you see and Obiako Wu. Yes, hospital bed no. Minister say Ghana Health Service or see no Nessus Obiabe name tag and name Adi and Kofi 30 years ago, and then Kofi Akom. Also, this is a very bad news. Nurses don't change at all. Yes, about Abrantiena Obuya. Sa Abrantiena Obuya no. You find the picture into screen so na mo share. It has emisa asem ena okan or parties a very bad things and nurses for 4 different hospitals. Man shall pay mami pay ama pay ebuya ya very sad thing. And we feel always royal. I say, hello, woman MP. If you are not fluent and eloquent, shut up and take notes. This woman now, or yes, Sunyani West MP, wako can bro for time or parliament, a man for train, I see and waba. In the okay, yes, say, bro for yes, won't say, this year. And I always royal say, is she a minister? I will be surprised. I'm learning, says she's a member of parliament, no, but for ministerial position, I did not find any record there. Wayfi a year always royal beam or say she is reading from a screen. Look into her lenses. Into woman and some more better say or casacriano or reading from teleprompter. Again, yeah, so always royal say keep looking on the screen in front of you to read. Read the scripts. Woman minister na wanko kan 70 year yes in the broth when you know. And also babe cheche mu or better so cheche mu kan she's reading from a screen, a teleprompter. And also the glasses no expose no. And if you always say you are sounding Ghanaian, nowhere near UK nor American tone. Woman no better not see all kasa. A minister we find the video into screen so can brofu so catch you yenim. And or pass a woman or American niana or can UK brofu in America. We don't know what she's talking about. And we again if you always royal or say if you Rose Rukuya, or say hello there, hello Rose, and if you always say hello, don't praise yourself. It's in some way and therefore we thank you so much for joining us on this particular live. We'll end the live here. See you again, same